Alright, so, well, I've never done it like this before. I'm actually holding up the phone. Maybe that'll keep me from going off on a tangent. I definitely don't want to make this the longest video in the world. My hands are already getting tired. My arms are already getting tired. Anyways, so, Vampire Diaries just went off on the East Coast. I haven't watched it in forever. Like I said in my previous video that I made earlier today, I haven't watched the show in forever because it's been crap, honestly. It hasn't made sense in a long time, and then this season 8 is just ironically the worst season in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it's just the worst season yet. But that's besides the point. Anyways, so all right, Bonnie Bennett. I'm just going to get straight to the punchline. Bonnie Bennett, it just makes me sad. It honestly it breaks my heart, and it makes me so sad when I think of the way that she's been treated on this series. She's been treated as nothing but a magical tool, and she wasn't allowed to be the beautiful woman that she is. Kat Graham is absolutely stunning. She's gorgeous. And I think that pretty much everyone can agree and attest to that. I know all the male cast members on the show can attest to that. Half of them wanted their character to end up with her. And yet, the only loves that she ever had, her epic loves, were Jeremy and Enzo. And it's just not right. It's not right. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because Jeremy and Enzo are not relevant characters on the show. And ironic enough, Jeremy is more relevant than Enzo, the vampire, who is supposed to be really cool that she's with a vampire, but it's just not a good relationship because he's not a relevant character on the show. So yes, he's a vampire, but he's irrelevant, and I'll tell you why he's irrelevant, because nobody cares about him. He died, and who cared? Like, Bonnie cared. And I guess people cared because Bonnie cared. But essentially, Damon doesn't care about Enzo. Hasn't cared about him for a while. Stefan doesn't care about Enzo. Caroline she doesn't care about Enzo. Alaric, Matt, Tyler, anybody, I mean, Tyler's dead, but anybody you want to name or come up with, they don't care about Enzo. So therefore, he's an expendable character. He's an irrelevant character. And they put him with Bonnie Bennett. It just makes her more irrelevant. Like, it takes away her relevance. That's what it does. And they're doing that to her. They did that to her. And all of season 8, she spent up under Enzo, the irrelevant character, just becoming more and more irrelevant herself due to spending time with him. Jeremy was more relevant because people did actually care for him. Elena Gilbert, the lead of the show, cared about him deeply. And because of that, Stefan cared about him. And maybe even Damon a little bit because of that. And, you know, Matt cared about him and Tyler cared about him. So Bonnie was actually with a more relevant character when she was with Jeremy. But both of these epic loves are, quite frankly, trash for Bonnie Bennett because she ends up being the default person for both of these. Like, I don't know if people realize that, but, you know, Jeremy was with Vicky first, and then he was with Anna. He was in love with Vicky, and then he was in love with Anna. Both of them died. So he was literally with Bonnie Bennett by default because his two other loves were dead. She was number 3, love number 3 by default. Enzo, I don't know if, like, people forget, but Enzo went after Caroline first, like every other guy on the show. And I am bitter about that, and I do feel a certain type of way about that. I'm going to try to calm that down because you can't really accomplish things when you're angry. But yeah, so Enzo went after Caroline first. Caroline didn't give him the time of day. And so then we get Enzo going after Lily, love number 2. Bonnie is love number 3 yet again, with him by default because Caroline rejected him and Lily didn't want him. Then he goes after Bonnie, and Bonnie gives in. And the writers have her give in, and she ends up being with him. It's an irrelevant relationship, and she's choice number 3. She's default. Like, why can't any of these guys come into town and look at Bonnie Bennett? Why can't they come into town and look at Kat Graham and say her? Like, I don't understand. like that never happens. These guys come into town and they see Elena or they see Caroline more accurately. But, you know, there have been guys that have come in and they've seen Elena. They're like, Elena. But most of these guys come into town and they see Caroline. And I just don't understand why not one guy, like not one single solitary guy couldn't come into Mystic Falls and see Bonnie. Like every time y'all tried to do it, Luca, he was trying to use her. Ben, trying to use her for her magic. It's like y'all couldn't literally y'all couldn't have anybody come into town and look at her and literally just fall for her because she's beautiful and because she's powerful and because she's classy. Like she's just this amazing, strong woman, and y'all made her the most attractive female on the show, and it's just wrong. And that's the way y'all treated her. And now Enzo's supposed to be her epic love. But where? She's with an irrelevant character. There's nothing epic about it. And now the show's about to end. And Damon will have been the only ship that happened in the books, that was huge in the books, so relevant in the books. They'll be the only ship that the writers never chose to explore. Why? They even explored Meredith and Ulrich. Meredith wasn't even on the show forever until like season, what was it, 5 or 4? And she was on there for like 2.5 seconds. And they found time in that 2.5 seconds. The writers found time to make her and Ulrich happen, to explore them. It's like, why didn't y'all explore Bonnie and Damon? And it hurts. It hurts. And you can't help but look at it and be like, think some type of way about it. Like, it's not fair treatment to have Bonnie Bennett be unattractive and undesirable and be choice number 3 for her relevant loves, and to never explore something that could have been amazing and beautiful and epic with her and Damon. Her and Ian Somerhalder, Cat Graham and Ian Somerhalder have explosive, sizzling, amazing, moving. It just moves you, their chemistry does. But the writers denied it. And, you know, it's still not over until it's over. And Damon could very well pull a magic hat trick and happen and become canon in the final episode of the series. But I hope y'all realize that that's not okay. Like, I hope you realize that that's still a monumental slap in the face that y'all waited literally till the end to put them together. Like, why? I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I have to say, if Bonnie Bennett was a redhead, if Bonnie Bennett was not Cat Graham, her and Damon would have been together. They would have been together. You guys would have loved it. The writers would have loved it. The fans would have loved it. And there would have been no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It wouldn't be this huge, oh, it's betraying Elena thing that people like to throw in Damon's face. It wouldn't be that at all. But I truly believe in my heart and in my soul that because Bonnie Bennett is Cat Graham, the writers have kept them from happening. It hurts. It hurts. It makes me angry. It makes me sad. It's just sad, this world we live in. I mean, if the writers do have them happen in the finale, you know, you get like one kudo because at least you went there. Other shows haven't even went there. And I know it was big to put literally your lead guy with the African American female. I don't understand why it should be a big deal, but I know it was a big deal. So, I mean, I guess one kudo. But if this would have been Damon and Caroline would have been together. And it just sucks that you guys were so afraid of your fans, or were so, I don't know, focused on Caroline and focused on Elena that you did Bonnie like crap. And you thought you did her well, but you didn't. And, you know, it's not even just about romance. It's not even about just her love life. Why couldn't anybody care about Bonnie? Like, Caroline gets everybody. If Caroline died on this show, it would affect everybody because y'all literally gave her everybody. Y'all literally had everybody have a relationship with her. It's like, fine, don't put Bonnie and Damon together romantically. Don't put her together romantically with any of these main guys. Fine, just make her unattractive and unappealing. But you can at least give her a relationship, a friendship with these guys. Stefan and Bonnie don't even have a friendship. Bonnie and Ulrich don't have a friendship. Bonnie barely has a friendship with Caroline. Y'all call that a friendship, but they don't really, you know, whatever. It's BS. But if Bonnie were to die, who would care? Damon. Caroline, a little bit. If Caroline died, Alaric would care because y'all literally threw them together because, I mean, she didn't have enough people. She needed to have Alaric because, I mean, y'all should just bring Jeremy back and put her with Jeremy too, because then literally every guy in the show would have had something with her. Something. You know, Enzo went after her. He didn't get her, but he had something with her. Just bring Jeremy back and give her Jeremy. I mean, let's just make it complete or whatever. But, yeah, if Caroline died, Alaric would care. Stefan would care. Y'all have even pigeonholed Damon. Damon hasn't had any scenes. They've been talking on the phone half the season or not even being around each other. But y'all are giving Damon scenes with Caroline. Caroline gets scenes with Damon. So it's like, you know, Damon would probably care if Caroline died. I mean, she literally gets a relationship with every person on the show. Elena would care. Bonnie would care. Matt would care. Like, literally everybody on the show would care if Caroline died. And I mean, that's great. Power to you. Like, that's the way it should be. But why the heck did y'all have to give her all of that and not give Bonnie Bennett not one single person except for Damon Salvatore, and then y'all keep them in the friendship zone? Like, he's literally the only one on that show who would give a crap, really and truly, and he might not even care, because that's just, you know, like, no wonder the fandom doesn't care about Bonnie. No wonder the fandom thinks that she's expendable. That's the way you've written her. You kill her time and time and time again. Y'all don't allow her to have relationships, friendships where people care about her. Y'all don't allow her to be appealing. Y'all don't allow her to be attractive. And it's just wrong. It's wrong the way that y'all have treated Bonnie. And I just don't know. I don't know, Julie Plec. I don't know, Caroline Dries and you other writers. I don't know if you see what you have done. And that is why this fandom is so racist. And that is why this fandom is, they feel the way that they feel about Bonnie. I can't even like really get completely mad at them, because that's the way that y'all have betrayed her. That's the way that y'all have portrayed her character as expendable. Y'all have portrayed her character as nobody cares about her. And she's just a means to an end. She's a magical tool. She's the one who's supposed to be ready to throw down her life for everybody, even though nobody else in that town is like that. No, Caroline and Elena are best friends too. Caroline does not die for Elena. She's never died for Elena. She's never died. But yet y'all have Bonnie be the person that the fandom now sees as expendable, and they now see her as if she's supposed to be ready to throw down her life like a sheep for slaughter. Because that is what y'all have had her do over and over again. Like, I can't even get mad. I can't even get mad at the Daylina fans. I can't even get mad at the fandom as a whole for bashing her or thinking about her the way that they do, and it's sad. But anyways, this video has gone on for far too long. I'm angry, but more than angry, I'm hurt. Like, I don't know if y'all hear it in my voice, but I'm getting emotional. And I mean, you guys should just be ashamed. You really should. You writers should be ashamed. The network should be ashamed. The fandom should be ashamed, because even though the show is putting this into your head, you should be able to have your own brain to say this isn't right. And I shouldn't feel like this character is expendable. And I shouldn't get so mad at the thought of her being with Damon. And maybe if she was a different color, I would want her to be with Damon. And I don't have a problem with Caroline and Damon being together. Then why do I have a problem with Bonnie and Damon being together? Like, something is wrong with this world. And we already know that. This world is so screwed up, and it's so flawed, and it's a bad place, and it's full of sin, and it's just full of badness. But that's another story. This world needs more love, and TVD needs love. And the writers did not write that show with love, with all they wrote it with love for Caroline. They loved on Caroline like nobody's business. They did not love on Bonnie. And if Bonnie and Damon happened, I mean, there's just so many things. They could have had them dance tonight, and then he could have been like, you know, it's been so long since we've done this or whatever. Like, we were always pretty good at this, don't you think? Like, there's things that y'all can recall to make Damon special, but y'all don't do that. And so even if they do happen, it's like all these missed opportunities to harp on the depth of them. He's done so much for her. She's done so much for him. They fight like tooth and nail for each other, bring each other back to life. And those are things that y'all could have talked about, that y'all could have had them acknowledge. But no, Damon will happen, possibly. They probably won't. But even if they did happen, that's the sad thing. Even if they did happen, it just wouldn't be satisfactory. It wouldn't be justice. It wouldn't be right. And it would still be like a cop-out that you made them happen in the end. But anyways, that's enough rambling. I really wish that things could have been done differently. I wish that Bonnie could have been treated with care, and that she could have had people on the show care for her. She could have had writers care for her. And the fandom then could have cared for her. It breaks my heart. But hopefully, you know, we all make mistakes. Hopefully you writers will see the error of your ways and you will do better in the projects that you do in the future. I mean, you did not do good with this. You didn't. And you just have to see that, and you have to admit it and just move on from it and grow from it. Like, please just don't do this again. Like, in fandom, like, learn from this and grow from this, and don't let people just get into your mind and dictate how you feel about a person. And I'll do better too. I'm gonna see the way that the character of color is being treated, and I'm not gonna just clap my hands because there's a character of color. I'm gonna watch and see how the show treats them, and that's gonna be whether I clap my hands or whether I turn off my TV and stop watching. I just wish I would have caught on sooner with TVD, and I could have turned off my TV a lot sooner than what I did. But I guess everything happens for a reason. Oh, I'm sad. This is sad. I'm hurt. Cat Graham deserved better. Bonnie Bennett deserved better. Do better. Just do better, people. Do better in the future. You can't just treat your Caucasian characters with love and care. You got to treat your people of color with care as well. You have to. You have to give them good things too. You have to let them be attractive. You have to let them be cared for. How else is the world supposed to see us as attractive? How else is the world supposed to care? How else is the world supposed to see them as attractive or care? Like, it's just serious stuff. All right, I've said my piece. God bless.